Hello again everyone, this is Michinatsu. In this video, I would like to break down 10 very basic English words that I often use in my everyday life. I'm not just gonna explain their meanings, but I'll also give you the images and the feelings I associate with them. This was actually one of my mistakes, but if you memorize vocabulary through Japanese meanings, you end up playing the never-ending game of trying to translate perfectly between two languages. I don't want you to get caught in the same trap. In this video, I'm gonna give you heaps of example sentences. I'm gonna do my best. Instead of focusing on the words themselves, please try to picture the images, not the translations. Promise, please. I might have to speak Japanese here and there to explain things better. Please forgive me. And I expect this video is gonna be quite long, so I have to save my energy. So I'm gonna speak a bit of this low-key, if that's okay. And one more thing, I think language isn't like 100% about rigid rules. So please remember that what I'm going to explain in this video is not the only way. I just want to share what I have learned over the years. I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you have got any questions, comments, please let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, let's get right into it. Okay, let me start with take. I think in Japanese, take is often introduced as 取るとか掴むですよね。I'll take an umbrella with me just in case. I'll take an umbrella with me just in case. Now, have a look at those sentences. I'll take the muffin. I'll get the muffin. Both make sense and both are grammatically correct, so there's no issue at all. However, you see there's another word that sounds similar to take, which is get. Okay, can you explain the difference between those two words? The key difference, here, image-wise, is control. When it comes to take, you want to focus on the whole process, even like the beginning of the movement. So grabbing something, holding something, and moving it somewhere. And in many cases, moving it towards you. So for me, the difference between take and get is take, get, take, get. But remember, the situation at the end is exactly the same. The muffin ends up right here, so you can't complain about it, can you? However, it depends on where your focus is. So take has a nuance of being in control. You're actively making something happen, or you move something, or you act on something. I'll take the muffin. Take the muffin. I took my book to school. I took my book to school. I take a bath. Take a bath. これコロケーションみたいな、フレーズとしてね、覚えた方多いのかなとは思うんですけど。So here, why do you have to use take for, being in the bath or like washing yourself or whatever? Because you intentionally take that activity, grab that activity as a concept and make it part of you. Part of your time. なので、この take a bath っていうのは、その行為自体を時間として取り込むっていうニュアンスがあるんですよね。で、それで最後に自分のものにするっていう、end up with you, right? So similarly, you can say, I take a break. I take a break. I take a walk. I take a walk. I take a nap. I take a nap. I take a bus to go to school. I take a bus to go to school. Yes, you can't see them, but you can, grab that activity and just grab it towards you. Move it towards you, and then it ends up being with you. Now, even though the subject is not a person, the meeting took 1 hour. The meeting took 1 hour. これは日本語で1時間かかったっていう風にね、綺麗に意訳はされているんですけれども、the meeting kind of grabbed the time, 1 hour, and move it and ends up being with it. Just make it become part of the meeting. It takes 8 hours to go to Japan. It takes 8 hours to go to Japan. It grabs the time, 8 hours, and move it and make it be part of it. Anyway, when you hear take, it means you grab something and move it somewhere. Remember, it's the whole process, not just grabbing something or holding it. And also don't forget that you can take something is not physical, such as time, activities, and transportation. Now, let's look at get. I think it's often translated as 手に入れるとか、ゲットするですよね。I think it's because of Pokemon. Pokemon ゲットだぜ。But I think what a lot of people miss is this nuance of results and change. Actually, get focuses on the final state. I mean, the result, what you end up with. It's such an interesting concept. I mean, we want to think about it together. 皆さん、ポケモンを捕まえる行為っていうのは、漫画とか、テレビを見てね、わかると思います。ポケモンを捕まえるというのは、投げて捕まえますよね。grab it。それで手元に引き寄せますよね。move it ですよね。で、それで自分のものにする。つまり end up being with you ですよね。なのでこのwhole process. So remember, take is the whole process. So ポケモンを捕まえる行為っていうのは、実は take とかcatch に近いんですよね。However, get usually focuses on the last part, which is the result. なので、このポケモンゲットだぜっていうそのサトシが叫ぶ場面がありますよね。そのゲットの使い方が実は完璧で、そのポケモンが手に入っているというこの時点、このポイントを指しているんですね。なので、サトシはこのゲットという英単語をマスターしている。それはいいんですけども。So in this case, whatever ball you use, Master Ball or Super Ball, it doesn't matter. As long as you get a Pokemon with you, it's fine. So if you associate the word get with a result or a change, you can imagine the situation easily. なのでしつこいですが、take, get. I got an A on my writing test.I got an A on my writing test. I know it sounds like I received an A, but more deeply, it suggests that as a result, I ended up with an A grade. My face got red when I went to the stage. My face got red when I went to the stage. It's more like a change though, but it's just one point, gut. Just gut, not like gut. I got sick. I got sick.So again, it's about the final state. I got a new TV. I got a new TV. How about this one? I know it sounds like I received a TV. I received a TV. But more deeply, it also suggests a result. So you ended up with a TV. It's like TV, me and TV together. So yeah, when it comes to get, the focus point is mainly, not all the time, but mainly at the end of the movement or consequence. Now let's go back to the two sentences. I'll take the muffin. I'll get the muffin. take を使った方は自分で掴んで自分のものにしたいっていう。で、get を使った時はとにかく手元にあればいいと。でも結局は同じこと。マフィンが最終的には自分の元にあるっていうことですよね。So yeah, the difference will be either the whole action or the result. Okay, now let's look at have. This word is such a common word, so I really want you guys to master it. I think the basic image of this word is motsu. Obviously, right? However, not just physically holding, it also means something exists within you or within something, or some people or like things. So you can't see it, but you can have it. Usually Japanese has like different verbs for it. I had a great time at her place.I had a great time at her place. I have a funny feeling about the salesperson. I have a funny feeling about the salesperson. I'll have a chat with my manager soon. I'll have a chat with my manager soon. I have a headache. I have a headache. I have one sister. I have one sister. He has a talent. He has a talent.I do believe this is where we can read, we can understand, but when it comes to making sentences, we can't make one that sounds natural or native. I think we need to switch, or rather, we need to have a new perspective. We need to reprogram our brain to realize that you can have things that usually in Japanese, we can't have, if that makes sense. やっぱり英語のを達成するために何が have できるのかっていうのを日本語で考えないで英語で、新しい視点で考えていくことが実は大切だと思うんですね。So now there's a fun pop quiz. Try translating this into English. 民間保険に入っていますか？民間保険は英語で private medical insurance ですね。Okay, a very natural translation would be Do you have private medical insurance? なんですね。So in English, you don't say, Are you in private medical insurance? Now it's just all about perspective, I guess. In Japan, we look at the process of 加入するとか入る。なので、保険イコール加入するというイメージがもう頭の中にあるんですけども、But in English, the focus is on the fact that you have insurance. Even though obviously it's invisible, but still you can have it. I mean, you can have it inside you or whatever image you get. And what I find fascinating in language is the fact that there are several ways to explain one situation. And depending on the culture or language, the focus can vary. 例えば、日本語で約束を守るって言いますよね。でも英語で protect a promise とは言わないんですよ。keep a promise なんですね。なので日本語ではその約束っていうのはどんなことがあってもその自分の努力っていうんですかね、それで守るもの。でも英語ではキープするもの、その保つことっていうね、そこにフォーカスがいくわけですよ。なのでその大事にしているところとか気づきやすいポイントっていうんですかね。それはやっぱり言語というよりもそのお国柄っていうんですかね。それがやんわり出るんですね。You know, I've been nagging about it. Like, hey guys, learning a language is not about translation. No, you need to get familiar with the sense or like feeling and images and all that stuff. Like, they're all included. I mean, you can be fluent without, thinking about that kind of stuff. But if you want to deliver what you really want to say, I think like you need to focus on these like small things and you need to appreciate it because that makes language learning like much, much more fun. Anyhow, once you embrace this idea that you can have invisible things, for example, such as feelings, time, opportunities, what else, thoughts, social things, and insurance as well, I think your English will sound more natural, more native-like. Okay, now let's look at go. So you associate go with どこかに行くことですよね。どこかに向かうとかね。But I would like to add one more key image. That is movement in general. とにかく動くです。こうやって歩いていくだけじゃなくて、わーっていう動き全体です。And again, it's not only an object, but also something you cannot see too. I give you two simple sentences. I go to school.I went to Japan. And you might go like, I know, those are too simple. But let me ask you a deep question. Why can't you go to Japan? Why can't you go to school? Why can't you go to just go or something like that? Whatever you want to go to. I know, right? Because you move. It's also not an interesting concept, but go is like in the category of like move. So move is like a big circle and then there's a little field here and it's go or there is come or there is jump or something like that. つまりその動きを兼ねるじゃないですけども、イメージとして動くということがあるから、行くというその概念があるというか、動きがあるわけですよね。So yeah, please remember that go. Yeah, of course it's about going, but it's also about movement too. When you think like that, this sense of movement also extends to process. The cells are going well. The cells are going well. As the time goes, people start to open up. As the time goes, people start to open up. How's it going? How's it going? So yeah, it's about how the things are progressing. And they are also moving, right? From movement, we also get a change of state too. Milk goes off quickly. Milk goes off quickly. My worries went away. My worries went away. It might be funny, but I always imagine a hamster, like, active small little hamster is moving. On the reel or something, I don't know what it's called, but, running. Like, it's not necessarily about going, but still, it's going, right? And there's a popular phrase, let's go. Let's go. これ日本ではさあ行こうっていう風にね、訳されると思うんですけれども、実はこれもですね、ちょっとよく考えてみると面白いヒントが隠れていて、Let's go っていうのは必ずしもどこかに行こうよじゃなくてもいいんですよ。その特定の場所とかがなくてもいいんですよ。よくスポーツとかで Let's go, we got this みたいな風に言います。で、これは必ずしもフィールドに行こうとかじゃなくて、よしやるぞ、やってやるぞっていう動きを鼓舞する言葉でもあるんですよね。あとはジムとかエクササイズの時とか、あと仕事の時も Let's go, almost there, last push みたいな。これも Let's go はただ動こう、やろうぜみたいな感じなんですね。なのでここでも go っていうのが必ずしもその行くという訳に当てはまらないっていうんですかね。それだけじゃないよ、イコールじゃないよっていうのが分かっていただけると思います。Go nuts.Go nuts. Do you know what that means? So let's say there is a bucket of popcorn. By the way, what's your favorite flavor of popcorn? Mine is sweet and salty. And if someone says, go nuts, that means help yourself and don't hold back. Yes, nothing is holding you back to grab some popcorn from there. Anyhow, so yeah, nuts means crazy here. So go nuts, go crazy, help yourself. Just eat as much as you want. It went well.It went well. So go plus adjectives. It often means to move into the state. She went quiet after the comment. She went quiet after the comment. The sky suddenly went grey. The sky suddenly went grey.So yeah, it's because go gives you the image of something in motion, a change happening, right? You know, think about it. We are living in the world that is constantly in flux. I think that's why go is such a common word. Imagine that if we were living in a picture book world, you know, two-dimensional world, we would probably use go much less because it's only like this. But we can go anywhere like this because of the movements. Check.Okay, now let's have a look at listen and hear at the same time. So both mean kiku, but from those two words, we can learn another important lesson or theory about this world. Right now, you're listening to my story. Hopefully. I mean, you're not checking Instagram or anything while hearing my story. If so, how dare you? It's okay though. So now, you know, I've used two words here. I used listen and hear. So what was the difference? When you use listen, it means that the action comes from you intentionally. On the other hand, hear is when sound naturally reaches out to you. Enters your ears naturally. So you could say, I listened to Chinatsu's story on YouTube. Or you could also say, I heard Chinatsu talking as I walked past my housemate's room. And other examples will be, I am listening to Shawn Mendes. I'm listening to Shawn Mendes. I don't like his music that much, but anyhow, this is very natural, it's good, but if his new song was playing in the store, you could say, I heard a song by Shawn Mendes in the store. 日本語では hear っていうのがこの漢字で listen っていうのがこの漢字っていうのに近いかなと思います。なので I heard a scream from outside. I heard a scream from outside.なんか懐かしいですね。次、I heard my mom calling my name. I heard my mom calling my name. I heard the rumor from Amy. I heard the rumor from Amy. Now let's have a look at those two sentences. I want to hear your story. I want to listen to your story. Both make sense and grammatically correct too. So I want to hear your story. Of course, you can use that expression too. So in this case, as long as the story reaches out to you, you're happy. On the other hand, I want to listen to your story. So there's intention, right? So this word shows that you're choosing to pay attention. It sounds more sincere and even like passionate. So please don't get like, oh, then listen to sounds more sincere, so I should use listen to all the time. Well, it's not necessarily true, because what if you say, I want to listen to your story, but your behavior is not showing that? There must be some gap between what you say and how you act. Then people would go like, oh, you don't sound like you want to listen to my story. It's actually worse, so you need to pick the right word. これもやっぱり英語が翻訳だけではないっていう理由ですよね。丸暗記だけで通用 用しないというか、やっぱり言葉ってこう気持ちがあって、それに合った言葉を選んでいって、それを相手に伝える。で、相手もそれがわかる。これこそやっぱり人のコミュニケーションだと思うので。So yeah.When you think about it, how amazing is that? Anyhow, hear and listen. I'm pretty sure you can see the difference now. Okay, now let's have a look at buy. Of course, it means 何かを買うですよね。However, if you want to go to the next level, there's another nuance. Can you translate this? I'm not buying the story.I'm not buying the story. So at its core, buy means you recognize the value of something and are willing to pay for it. So it's not simply the act of like お金を払う. To buy something is to accept it as valid or valuable enough to invest in. So I'm not buying the story. That means I'm not believing in the story. My favorite British TV show called The In-Betweeners. And there's a scene that Simon, he wanted to call in sick. So he pretended to be his mom and called, "Hi, this is Mrs. Cooper. Simon is not feeling well." And then he hung up the phone. Obviously, his teacher didn't believe it, but after the call, he said, I think he bought it though. 彼は多分その話信じたと思うって言ったんですね。So when you think about it that way, you can probably see how to differentiate buy and purchase. Both can mean 何かを買うこと。However, purchase sounds more formal. For me, it sounds more like a matter of fact. On the other hand, buy contains a bit of emotion too. So you trust in the service or product. I won't purchase your lie. Grammatically correct, but it's not right. I won't buy your lie.It's correct. I will purchase the subscription. I will buy the cake because, I mean, it sounds like a big deal and I know you don't think about it, but like because you believe in that thing, that's why you buy the cake. Now you can see the language reflect on your feelings and beliefs and all the stuff that you can't see. That's why I get fascinated and that's why, I always say like it's so fun to learn. Okay, last push guys. Let's have a look at watch, see, look all together. So watch is kind of similar to listen. There's intention. You watch something. I mean, you're watching this video because you want to. I like watching films.I like watching films. So your action is intentional, right? And you're actively paying attention. That's why we say, watch out. Watch your step, because there should be an intention. I think watch is quite simple and straightforward. I'm gonna look at see. So see is more like hear, something entering your field of vision naturally. I can see a guy walking down the street.I can see a guy walking down the street. I've seen this guy somewhere before. I've seen this guy somewhere before. So you don't necessarily intend to, it simply enters your awareness. And see also means like わかるとかね、理解する. I see your point. I see your point. I see what you mean.I see what you mean. So then, why do we have to use see in this situation? Well, the interesting thing is because when we see something, our brain also recognizes too. That's why we can see that we see something, if that makes sense. So then our brain recognizes something invisible, such as ideas and thoughts. And when you think about it, it actually makes sense why we say like, I saw Tom on the street. I saw Tom on the street.Because it's just not the action of miru, right? Your brain recognized a person and that recognition is called seeing. 目と脳がつながってますよね。なので see はここ全部使っているっていう感じなんですよ。Finally, let's have a look at look. So look focuses on the action of 見る。この見るという動き自体のことを look って言うんですね。Look at the picture.Look at the picture. Look in the mirror.Look in the mirror. I'm looking up hotels on the internet. I'm looking up hotels on the internet. As I said and did, looks mean like this movement. And then look often needs a target, right? If I'm looking like this, I need a target, otherwise my neck is gonna get tired. So that's the reason why look is commonly used with prepositions. Look at the camera, look at the window, look at the candle right here, look at my face. So yeah, in summary, watch means your intention. You're watching something because you want to. See is like something gets in the field of your vision. So yeah, you're not choosing to see it, but you can see it because your brain recognizes it. And look is this. Again, the movement. I need a target. That's why look at the screen. By the way, I've got a vocabulary booklet sort of thing on my LINE account, so it's completely free. So if you want to use them, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, the link is in the description down below. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by clicking the like button. If you've got any questions, comments, please let me know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel too. Alright, I see you in the next video soon.